Greetings and welcome to another edition of STL Soccer Talk, the video edition, here at the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and stltoday.com. I'm Tom Timmermann, beat writer for St. Louis City for the Post-Dispatch, and I'm joined by, my goodness, it's Beth O'Malley. Back. Beth, welcome back.
Well, thank you.
Well, others have tried to fill in, but no one could rise to the occasion.
And thank you for arranging all of those guest appearances that you did while I was out. I appreciate it, and I'm glad to be back.
And we're glad to have you back. And you come back at just this stuff happening left and right.
I know.
With City SC. So you picked a good week that we won't have to really stretch.
It is a good week. Yeah.
Well, it's a good week depending on who you are.
It does, yeah.
So it's hard to rank the order of these developments, but City have signed a player, Cedric Teuchert. It's spelled Teuchert, but the last name is pronounced Teuchert. He's German, playing in the second division with Hannover 96. He will be coming and joining City to kind of fill the Nico Gioacchini role. That's been missing since Nico left for Italy. But because of the international transfer window, can't play until July 18th, I believe is the number. But they've got time so he can get the paperwork in place, and he can start training as soon as the paperwork is done, and then he can get in shape. But Carnell said he's going to probably take a little vacation, get a little time. He just finished his season in the German second division.
He's already come to St. Louis, though, because the announcement video was at least partially filmed, it looked like, at the Amsterdam pub in South City.
It was. He's actually been here twice, apparently. Okay. So I don't know if he came here looking around and then came here to do the paperwork, but yeah, so he's been here, but now he's back in Germany, where he's from. Just yet another German on this squad.
Not really a surprise.
No, not a surprise at all. He played actually with Edu Leuven at one of his clubs along the way at Nuremberg and with some German national teams. So, obviously they wouldn't have signed him, as Carnell said when I asked him, does he know your style of play? He was like, well, we wouldn't have signed him if he didn't know our style of play. So, so they think he'll be a good fit, and he'll be. I was talking to Lutz Pfannenstiel this morning about him, and he said, he's the kind of guy that you could just kind of figure he'll score 10 goals a season. He
scored 12 last season, or I guess the season that just ended. So hopefully he's going to be a big role in the attack.
He had a weird season last year because he started out with Hanover, and then he hurt his hamstring, and that was like in the winter, and that's when it became apparent that he was probably going to transfer, that he wasn't going to come back. And the club at that point said, "Oh, we're done here. There's really no sense in playing you anymore." So he played almost the last half of the season. He didn't score much because he was coming off the bench and playing 12, 15, 20 minutes a game. I think he started one game.
Which makes that stat look even better, really.
Yeah. A bunch of them were on penalty kicks, but but still. But anyway. But then on the other side of the news was Friday in practice, Tomas Ostrak, who's been one of the bright players, certainly made the biggest step this year, injured his ankle in practice and will require surgery and is out for the rest of the season.
That's not good.
That is not good because really Ostrak had made the biggest step. It really had hit his stride this year. Had been valuable playing in various spots in the midfield, whether it was back or forward. And he was a guy that was going great. And now he's gone for the season. So that's a big hit for them. Just as they get Edu Leuven back, so that's something. But yeah, I mean, to lose Ostrak, a guy whose game was best as it had ever been, that's going to be a tough hit for the team.
He definitely was looking a lot better this year. Kind of a quiet player on the pitch, not necessarily a Leuven style playmaker, but dependable on the ball, reliable at his position, and that's what you need on a team like this. So yeah, we're going to miss him. Yeah,
and then you got, they've lost 3 in a row. They play Inter Miami, Lionel Messi on Saturday.
Who's that?
Yeah, and what City's got to be hoping is that Inter Miami plays a game on Wednesday. They have a league match on Wednesday against Atlanta, and that's an Eastern Conference game.
Right.
So that's a big deal for them.
Yes.
So Messi will certainly play that game, and City's got to hope that that's a 1-1 knockdown, drag-out brawl, and they can't take Messi out early, that he plays the full 90.
The full 90 and then can't turn around and play Saturday, or has restricted playing time on Saturday.
Can only play 15 minutes, half an hour. Or they can just hope that they are challenged by taking on the best player in the world, and they rise to the occasion.
I have a feeling that's what Carnell is telling the team in the locker room. We're going to rise to the occasion. That, or it doesn't matter who we play, we always have to play our best. One of those two.
Your coaching career awaits, Beth.
Thank you.
Plenty of more of this on the podcast, STL Soccer Talk, the podcast edition, with me and Beth. Plenty more in print on the website. We didn't even get a chance to mention Kyle Hebert called into the Canadian national team.
It was very exciting.
He'll play against Miami, and then he'll go off to Europe and play in France and Netherlands. Big thing for Kyle. But anyway, you can read about that and listen to it on the podcast. As always, support local journalism. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the Post-Dispatch. Beth, great to have you back.
Thank you.
For Ali behind the camera, for executive producer Gary Harrelson, for the rest of the staff that helps put this together. Until next week, be seeing you.